Hello dear students, welcome back to today's lesson. Today we will be learning reported speech, how it differs from direct speech and what are they, how do we use them. First, I will tell you what direct speech is and what is reported speech. Direct speeches, for example, Jane says, "I am tall." Reported speech, we deliver what Jane says to another person. Jane said that she is tall. This is reported speech. I retold what Jane said to another person. This is reported speech. And direct speech is Jane saying something. I can also show this sentence like Jane said, "I am tall." Both of these sentences are direct speech, and we will be studying how to transform direct speech to reported speech or reported speech to direct speech. First of all, we have a timeline. We don't use the exact tense that we used in direct speech in reported speech. Tense changes when we rewrite the sentence using reported speech. We have a tense chart here. If I use present simple tense, if present simple tense is used in direct speech and I am turning that sentence into reported speech, then the tense of the sentence will be past simple. If I build my direct speech sentence with present continuous or present progressive, I use past continuous while making it reported speech. If I used tense past simple, then it will be past perfect. If I used past continuous, it will be past perfect continuous. And if I used feature, it turns to would. This is our time schedule that we will be using while turning direct sentences to reported speech sentences. For example, she said, "John is sleeping." My tense in direct speech is present continuous. So when I am writing this sentence again using reported speech, my tense will be past continuous. She said that John was sleeping. See here, look at here, I used past continuous. That isn't really necessary in daily conversations, but when you're writing an essay or you're using academic English, you have to use it. He said, I work at a bank. He said that. Now I wrote this. In this sentence, the direct sentence, my tense is present simple. So in here, I will be using past simple. He said that. Why did I use he? I have to pay attention to what pronouns I am using in reported speech because I am delivering someone else's words and I am retelling them. So I have to be careful with using and turning pronouns. He said that he worked at a bank. And I did the sentence past simple. They said, we will call you later. I am looking at the tense I see feature. And when I see feature and I want to rewrite it using reported speech, I use would verb 1. They said that. Now, here we turns into they because now I am talking about who said this sentence. Well, would call us later. I want you to look at here, here, and here. These are the important parts. They said that they, I transformed we into they, will into would, and you into us. Be really careful with pronouns. Tom told my mom bought some apples. The tense of this sentence is past simple because there is verb to, and I can understand that this is past simple. Tom told that. I don't have to necessarily use say. I can also use tell or told. Tom told that. He is saying my mom. So I will be saying his mom. If the first sentence is past simple, I have to rewrite this sentence using past perfect. So, had bought some apples. She says, I can send you a letter. Here, this is, yes, present simple tense. But there's also a modal verb and how I am going to use it. The verb to form of can is could. And I will be using could when I am rewriting this sentence in reported speech. She said that she could. This turns into she. Can turns into could. Send I see you, and it will turn into me, a letter. I will, Aisha is saying, I will take you to my office tomorrow. Now, it's also important how do we transform our time expressions, because our tenses change, so the time expressions also need to be appropriate with our tenses. Aisha said that she would take, this is you, I wrote to twice, take me to, now Aisha is saying my office, so I will be saying her office. How do I say tomorrow, next day? This is a tricky one because there are a lot of pronouns and time expression and tense, all that things. I have to be transforming time expressions as well, or otherwise our tense transformation doesn't mean anything. I turned into she, will turned into would, you to my office, you turned into me, my office turned into her office, and tomorrow turned into next day. Again, Aisha says, I am eating ice cream right now. The tense of this sentence is present continuous. And I see a time expression. Aisha said that she was eating ice cream then. I used then instead of right now because I transformed my present continuous tense to past continuous tense. We went to Paris last week with them. They said that. The tense of this sentence is past and past tense, and I will be using past perfect while rewriting it's using reported speech. They said that we will turn into they, went will be had gone to Paris, and I have a time expression here. I will say previous week, not last week, because if I used last week, it would lose its meaning of past perfect. And now, a few more examples of normal sentence reporting, and then we will jump into questions and requests and orders. We don't want to see her house now. Tense of this sentence, present simple. And it is a negative sentence. So I will be using past simple negative. And also, I have a time expression at the end of the sentence. They said that they didn't want to see her will stay the same house. We turn now to then. When we want to transform it to past simple. Now we will be talking about how do we report requests and orders. For example, your mom says to you, go to school. This is an order. It is not a request, and we don't use say or tell when we're talking about requests or orders. We generally use ask with requests and tell, which is told, till with orders. My mom told me to go to school. Now the important thing here is that this. The order or request meaning of reported speech is given with these. For example, Ahmet, please close the windows. Now I will be using ask. Ahmet asked me to close the windows. It is a bit different from reporting, delivering negative and positive sentences. And if you have noticed, we don't change tenses when we are talking about requests and orders. She is saying, don't make noise. She told me not to make noise. When we are ordering something that is positive, we only use to after who is being told. But with negative orders, we use not to. And again, our tense stays the same. My dad, for example, don't make mess in the house. My dad told me not to make mess in the house. For example, teacher says, don't sleep during my class better. Teacher told Betül not to sleep during my will turn into her lesson or class. Ali's coworker, don't disturb me in meeting Ahmet. Ali's coworker told Ahmet not to disturb him in the meeting. My friend, please don't be late to my party. My friend told me or asked me, because this is a request, asked me not to be late to my will turn into her party. By the way, we also use models with reported speech. And how do we deliver them in reported speech? The direct questions, sentences. For example, I can speak French. Ayşe says. We will say it. Ayşe said that she could speak French. I turned can into could. That's the only difference. For example, Ayşe, I will call you. We said that this turned into would. Ayşe said that she would call me. And you turns into me. They may finish their homework. This is a tricky one. They said that they might finish their homework. When we are reporting the direct speech, and if there's a may, it turns into might. But if there's already a might in direct speech, it stays the same. For example, if it was they might finish their homework, it would again be the same. They might finish their homework. And one more. For example, when we say you must study hard. Ayşe says the teacher. Teacher said that you had to study hard, Ayşe. Must turns into had to. And if it was had to already used in the sentence, the direct speech sentence, then it would stay the same. Emrah Bey kaç dakika oldu? Tamam. Bir 15 dakikalık bir şey kaldı. Ben son sayfadan devam ediyorum. So, if there was had to, it would stay the same. Now let's jump into how do we transform questions, yes/no questions and WH questions. How do we build sentences with WH questions or yes/no questions using reported speech? Starting with yes/no auxiliary verb questions. For example, do you play guitar? Ali asks. I will say, Ali asked me if or whether played. I asked me if I played guitar. The tense change rule also applies in questions, applies to the questions. And in yes-no questions, I use if or whether to give that meaning. After who is asked that question. For example, can you swim? Ali asked me if I could swim or whether I could swim. Again, the tense change is the same. It doesn't change. Our tense always changes. And I use asked or wanted to know. I can also say, did you invite them to our party? Ali asked me whether I had invited them to our party. Now, this sentence was built with past tense, so I recreated it using past perfects in reported speech. Can you sing well? Ali asked me if I sang well. This is present simple and this is past simple. Sing is an irregular verb and the verb to form of sing is sung, so I transferred it. And now we have WH questions. For example, where is your jacket? Aisha asked me where my jacket was. This is present simple, this is past simple, and I paid attention to my pronoun in here. What did you make for dinner yesterday? Aisha asked me what I had done. Sorry, our verb is make, so we will say made for dinner, and I have a time expression, so I will say the other day. What are you wearing? Aisha asked me what was I wearing. Let's do a quick review of reported speech, and then that's it for today. Okay. We started with the differences between direct speech and reported speech. Direct speech is when we deliver a sentence from who say it. Reported speech is I am delivering what someone else said. And we talked about tenses. When we are turning sentences into reported speech, we change the tenses. Present simple turns into past simple. Present continuous turns into past continuous. Past simple, past perfect, past continuous. Past perfect continuous feature turns into would, and can turns into could. We gave examples. She said, John is sleeping. This is present continuous. I turned it to past continuous. They said, we will call you later. I said that I want you to pay attention to pronouns and time expressions. They said that they, would, will turned into would, call, you turned into us, and later stays the same because it doesn't change the meaning or corrupts the meaning. Tom told my mom bought some apples. Tom told that his mom had bought, because this is past simple, some apples. I can send you a letter. We talked about modal verbs and how do we use them in reported speech. Can turns into could. We talked about will, it turns into would, and we talked about may and might. We said that may turns into might, and if there is a might in direct sentences, it stays the same. We will use again might. Then we talked about requests and orders. Go to school, for example, this is an order sentence. We used to after who is being told to do that to give meaning of order or request sentence. And the important thing here with requests and orders in reported speech is we don't change the tenses. It is important. When we're talking about requests, we use asked. And when we are making negative orders or requests, we use not to after who is being told not to do that. And we talk about who that order is referred to. We talked about also here. And questions. We started with yes/no questions, auxiliary verb questions. Do you play guitar? Ali asked me if I or whether I play the guitar. And Did you invite them to our party? Ali asked me whether or if. We use whether or if with yes-no questions in reported speech. I had invited them to our party, but tense change applies to questions too. Can you sing well? Ali asked me if I sung well. And WH questions, again, the same thing, not much changes. What did you make for dinner? Aisha asked me what I had made. Tense change, pronouns change, and time expression change. We talked about them. And that is it for today. I hope you understood and enjoyed our lesson. See you on our next lesson. See you later.